moving on. Like, share, subscribe. Michigan State. Man, Michigan State. I think Michigan State is, depending on what their schedule is, we'll see what their schedule is going to look like, of course, because that's what the quick looks are for, right? You know what I mean? That's what they're for. But I mean, when you think Jonathan Smith and what he's able to do, and in his first year over in the Big Ten, you can say that the Big Ten is different. You got to by now the Big Ten is way different than the Pac-12. It's just it is. Period. Point blank. Period. Point blank. Um, Although he was a middle of the team pack ish, you know what I mean, in the Pac-12 to go over to the Big Ten his first year, go 5-7 overall and 3-6 in the conference. Michigan State is kind of unacceptable, although they are like the little brother. Lost some players offensively. I don't think anybody of notoriety on offensive defense that for the draft anyway. But as far as production on the college football field, we don't know. I mean, will you 5-7 overall, 3-6 in the conference? I don't know. Let me know. But they got some transfers in. A ton of receiver. They went receiver crazy for Aiden Childs. And they got Jack Veland. He was one I looked at as being one of the best tight ends at one point in time. I wanted Elijah Tolliver, running back from Sacramento State, 6'1", 204 pounds, went and snatched him up. So I need that guy. Let me get him over here. Shore up the offensive line. Connor Moore transferred in. Tackle from Montana State, 6'5", 310 pounds. Snatched him up. Matt Gilbelin from Wake Forest, 6'4", 315 pounds. Grabbed him up for interior offensive lineman. And Luke Venka, also an interior offensive lineman from Oregon State, 6'5", 303 pounds. He's finally come over with Jonathan Smith from over there. Said, okay, I'm coming back with you, coach. I'm coming. But he got Amari Kelly at receiver from Middle Tennessee State, 6 foot, 186 pounds, 53 receptions, 869 yards. He had 4 touchdowns on the season, not just last year. That's okay. You start your game, you say, okay, all right. So Christian McCray from Kent State, 5'10", 165 pounds, 40 receptions, 705 yards, 9 touchdowns. You start saying to yourself, okay, putting it together at receiver, right? Evan Boyer from Central Michigan, 6'3", 210 pounds, 21 receptions, 302 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So you say, okay, yeah, they really putting it together. They got something cooking over there, right? Because you're hearing the production out of the receiver position, and you're saying Aiden Childs, that's what he needed. Rodney Bullard transferred from came in red shirt, came in from Valdosta, so we all know that. So Valdosta State, 6 foot, 170 pounds. What's going on? Like these guys, they putting it together over there. They got their running back. They got shoring up the offensive line over there. You got the receivers. And they said we're going to play a style of football in the Big Ten, and it's going to work. He's determined to make his style of football work. And no doubt Jonathan Smith would do it. There's no doubt he'll get this team turned around. If they are 5-7 last year and 3-6 in the conference, I think that this team will turn around. But we'll talk about that after I look at the schedule. Just want to fill y'all in on these transfers that keep coming in. Defensive tackle Grady Kelly transferred in from Florida State, 7 solo tackles, 1 sack. He's 6'2", 295 pounds. Not much production, but you're saying to yourself, okay, all right, you know what I mean? We got something cooking here. David Santiago coming in from Air Force, 6'4", 235 pounds. Defensive end, edge rusher, if you will. All right. Then they grabbed up another guy, Nilu Lafili, I believe that's how I pronounce his name. Came in from Wisconsin, 6'2", 237 pounds. They didn't show too much at the edge. They didn't play, no experience really. But so some of these guys, like I said, but some of these guys will be depth pieces nonetheless. Like these guys won't be looked at as being starters, or you know what I'm saying. Some of these guys will be depth pieces. Elijah Moe got him in from BYU, 6'2", through 235 pounds, 8 solo tackles and one forced fumble he had. At linebacker, Najee Burt, another cornerback, transferred in from Eastern Illinois, 5'10", 185 pounds. They needed that position. He said, I'm going to go grab that position. Malcolm Bell grabbed him up from UConn, 6'2", 185 pounds, lengthier type of guy, 22 tackles, 3 passes defended. That's lengthier type of guy. You probably want that size at corner. And the Big Ten, Joshua Eaton, another cornerback. They grabbed him up from Texas State, 6'1", 190 pounds, 19 solo tackles and 5 passes defended. That's what they need, right? So you think this Amari Kelly, he's a flyer. Krishawn McCray, he's another flyer that can fly with the ball in his hands. And these guys they got some burners out there. So we know that. Now you know if you didn't, right? So now we'll look at the schedule, man. We'll look at the schedule and we'll see what's going on. So they start off their season August 30th versus Western Michigan at home. September 6th, they got Boston College at home. September 13th, they got Youngstown State at home. September 20th, they're on the road with SC. So September 27th is their first bye week. October 4th, on the road with Nebraska. October 11th at home, UCLA. October 18th on the road, Indiana. October 25th at home versus Michigan. November 1st on the road, Minnesota. November 8th, the second bye week. November 15th, Penn State at home. November 22nd at Iowa. November 29th, they finish off versus Maryland, of course, at Ford Field. That's how they doing that. I would have to say, honestly, looking at this schedule, Youngstown State, I guess you could say it, but that's a wash, right? Because Penn State and Michigan's on their schedule. I would say this is a tough schedule. So far, early looking on this, that's a tough schedule. That's a tough schedule. Of course, you can't hold them out. You can't hold them out for a seat. But they were 5-7 overall last year, and 3-6 in the conference. I believe I said it a couple different times. Without a doubt, I don't expect Michigan State to be back there at that point. I'm definitely not going to say that. I do not expect them, but it's up to all of us and the viewers. Thank y'all for tuning in. What do y'all think Michigan State's going to do on their schedule this year? Y'all let me know down in the comments, man. Appreciate y'all. Moving on.